Okay, let's dive in. We're looking at a field today, data engineering, that honestly felt pretty secure for a long time, kind of insulated, right?
Absolutely. If you were building that core infrastructure,
Right.
the digital plumbing, well, you probably thought you were essential. Building the foundation AI itself would run on.
Exactly. The common thinking was, surely this job, the one setting everything up, couldn't just be automated away.
hmm But that feeling, that security, the source material we're digging into today, an article from datapro.news, it argues that feeling isn't just misplaced.
It's actually dangerous.
Yeah, a real liability right now.
Right. The article's title doesn't mince words. Why data engineering isn't immune to the AI job reckoning. And the core idea is, well, it's pretty stark. This isn't some far-off prediction.
No, it claims the disruption is happening now,
Yeah.
actively reshaping jobs in software, data engineering today.
The article basically says that the old model, the stable salaried engineer, it's being taken apart systematically,
Yeah, replaced.
replaced by this leaner setup. A mix of powerful AI agents doing the grunt work, maybe more, and then humans, but more like.
Big workers.
Yeah.
Specialists brought in on demand. Flexible, variable cost.
Yeah. The hook is really that sense of security many engineers felt. Maybe it was just an illusion.
A dangerous one, the article suggests.
Yeah.
So let's talk scale. The article frames the Silicon Valley purge as sort of ground zero for this strategic shift.
And the numbers,
Yeah.
they're pretty staggering, right? It mentions 62,000 IT pros let go.
Just in the first 5 months of 2025, across nearly 300 companies. And it's not just random cuts.
No, companies like Google, Microsoft, Dell, they're explicitly saying it's strategic. It's about restructuring towards AI.
Right. And what's really key, according to the article, is where the money's going. It's not just saving costs. They're moving billions.
Billions, yeah, from human payroll.
Straight into AI infrastructure, building their own AI, buying the hardware, hiring specialist AI talent. It's a massive reallocation of capital.
The article uses Meta as a big case study here. Another 4,000 layoffs early in 2025.
And that followed what the article calls a stunning internal announcement
Which was?
that 90% of their product risk assessments, complex stuff needing human judgment, would be handled by AI.
90%. Wow. Okay. And the impact on jobs?
Immediate, according to the source. Roles in policy, safety management, ethics, suddenly marginalized. Hiring, laser focused on AI skills, data scientists, ML engineers.
So the internal vibe was basically, if you're not building or directly managing AI.
Yeah, your role is under review.
Yeah.
The future is AI native roles. That's the takeaway.
So the pattern the article identifies is automate thinking tasks, cut the humans doing those tasks, then pour the savings back into.
Building more AI to automate even more tasks. It's presented as this accelerating cycle.
A self-perpetuating cycle of displacement. Yeah. Okay. So if Meta is what's happening now.
Then the article points to OpenAI's ambitions as the end game, where this is all heading.
And there's a specific detail.
Yeah, OpenAI CFO Sarah Fryer. The article says she confirmed they're developing something called ASWE, an AI agent.
An agent. And the key quote from her, cited in the piece,
is that ASWE is designed not merely to augment, but to replace holistically.
Holistically. Replace.
That's the word used. She apparently added it's literally an agentic software engineer that can build an app for you.
No.
Handles the whole process, building, QA, fixing bugs, all autonomous.
Okay, so forget Copilot. This is
aiming for an autonomous pilot, taking over the entire software engineering lifecycle for certain tasks. That's the stated goal.
right. So bringing this back to data engineering specifically, the conventional wisdom felt solid because, well, data is exploding.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
132 zettabytes a year, the source mentions. The field is growing 150,000 professionals, 20,000 new jobs last year alone. Those are real numbers.
But the article's argument is that this big picture number hides what's happening underneath.
Exactly. It masks this transformation happening at the task level. The job itself is being, quote, hollowed out.
Hollowed out. How? What specific tasks are being automated?
Well, think about the really laborious stuff. Building ETL pipelines manually, writing all that transformation code by hand.
The stuff that takes ages.
Yeah. And the constant data quality firefighting. The article says AI-powered orchestration agents can now build and manage these flows with way less human input.
Minimal intervention. So the core repeatable work.
Is getting absorbed by AI systems. That's the hollowing out.
And there's data backing this up, a Gartner survey.
Right. Cited in the article, 58% of organizations expect to cut their traditional data engineering headcount by 2027.
58%. That's significant because of AI adoption specifically.
Precisely. which naturally leads to the question,
Yeah.
okay, which tasks are most vulnerable?
And the article points fingers.
It does. Entry-level data processing is top of the list.
Yeah.
Routine cleaning, simple transformations, basic data collection, stuff AI is just faster and better at scale.
Makes sense. What else?
Routine monitoring and maintenance, checking pipeline health, spotting anomalies, basic fixes, increasingly handled by AI agents doing autonomous remediation.
Okay. And the big one for many engineers.
Manual pipeline construction, actually writing the boilerplate code for standard data flows. The article suggests that's rapidly becoming obsolete.
So if you're still hand-coding standard ETL.
There's a quote in there. If you're still writing hand-coded ETL in 2025, you're swimming upstream. Pretty blunt.
Yeah, very clear. Does it mention new roles emerging from this, like AI pipeline engineer?
It does mention titles like that or data automation architect, but there's a caveat.
Which is?
The analysis suggests these might just be transitional roles. As the AI gets truly autonomous, like that ASWE agent.
You won't need as many humans just managing the AI agent itself.
Exactly. The durable advantage, the article argues, comes from operating at a higher level, more abstract thinking.
And this isn't just about tasks changing, it's affecting how people work, too. Remote work.
Big time. The article notes a huge drop in fully remote data engineering jobs, from 10% last year down to less than 2% in 2025. Seems companies retooling around these AI human teams want their key human architects physically present, on site.
Okay, let's talk about the human cost. The article apparently gets quite sobering here.
It does. It highlights that when a salaried engineer gets displaced, they're not always replaced by another salaried person.
So what is replacing them?
A combination, typically.
Right.
A software subscription for the AI tool.
Right, paying for the agent.
And often, a freelance contractor. A specialist for specific high-level tasks.
And the numbers for those displaced engineers, the article cites a workforce analysis.
Yeah, it paints a pretty stark picture. 42% of displaced software engineers end up in the gig economy.
42%. And finding work takes longer.
Average unemployment duration, 7.8 months. That's quite a while.
And when they do land something, the pay?
A median income drop of 27%. Significant.
Wow. So that's the new economic model the article describes. Companies swap fixed costs.
Salary, benefits, paid time off.
For variable costs.
Right. The AI tool subscription plus paying a freelancer when needed. Maximum flexibility and cost efficiency for the company. But, as the article points out, it shifts all the risk. Job security, income stability. That burden moves on to the individual worker.
Okay, so given this pretty challenging picture, how do engineers navigate it? The article offers a survival guide.
It does. And the core idea is a fundamental shift in mindset, a reimagining of your professional identity.
From builder to
Architect. Exactly. Moving from primarily building the individual pipelines to architecting the whole data ecosystem. Your value isn't just the code you write for task X.
it's the systems you design, the strategy you help shape, the governance you put in place.
Precisely. High-level thinking.
Okay, so let's break down the strategies. 4 key ones mentioned. Number 1, move up the value stack.
Right. This means consciously letting go of that routine, hands-on work that AI is taking over. Focus instead on complex system architecture, platform design, tuning the whole system for performance, driving innovation.
Be the blueprint designer, not the bolt tightener on the assembly line. That's the analogy used.
Something like that. Design the data factory, don't just operate one machine.
Okay, strategy 2, master AI as an instrument.
Not just using the tools, but getting deeply fluent in building with them, fine-tuning them, integrating them into the bigger picture, orchestrating the AI agents themselves as part of the data flow.
So understanding frameworks like TensorFlow, cloud AI platforms like Azure ML, but from an integration perspective.
That's becoming baseline knowledge for staying relevant, the article suggests.
Got it. Third strategy, cultivate deep business and domain context.
This is crucial because AI, well, it doesn't get context, it can crunch numbers, but it doesn't understand your specific business, why you're asking the question, the strategic goals.
So the human value is being that bridge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Connecting the data, the AI's output, and actual business outcomes. Asking the right questions, interpreting results meaningfully within the business context, that's hard for AI to replicate.
A durable advantage, it sounds like. Okay, finally, strategy 4, become a governance and ethics champion.
Yeah, as AI gets embedded deeper into data pipelines, managing the risks becomes critical. Data quality, privacy, compliance, preventing bias in the AI models.
And data engineers are well placed to lead this.
Uniquely positioned, the article argues. It's not just ticking boxes. It's applying technical know-how to build pipelines that enforce fairness, design privacy-preserving data access, monitor models for ethical issues.
So it's a technical specialism focused on trust and safety.
Right, a high-value, defensible niche right at the heart of things.
Okay, so pulling it all together, the article's main point seems to be, yes, the world needs builders.
Always will. But the tools are changing, the blueprints are changing incredibly fast.
And the conclusion is pretty direct.
Very. That comfortable, secure career path for data engineers based mainly on deep technical skill and stable routine tasks. It's over.
The future belongs to the architects.
Those who can orchestrate the data, the AI agents, and the human strategy, operating at that higher level. The upheaval isn't coming, it says. It's here. We need new blueprints, now.
This deep dive really underscores how even roles we thought were safe are facing huge changes. It's not just about one technology automating one task.
No, it's about a fundamental economic shift, a rethinking of where human value really lies when automation gets this powerful.
Exactly. Which leaves us, and you listening, with a final thought to chew on straight from this source material. If the future isn't in doing the routine technical work, but in designing and orchestrating the systems that do the work, what does that really mean for how you need to spend your time, your learning energy right now? How do you draw your new blueprint?